For people who are on the fence about having kids, but you ended up having kids, I want to know.
Hey people, welcome back to the channel. So in our today's video is about this topic that has not been talked about so much, yet we are going to talk about it. The parents who were unsure if they wanted kids, but they ended up having kids anyway. Kindly leave a comment in the comment section below. What is your experience? And I'll let her video play as well as the stitches. Kindly watch and I'll be back.
For people who are on the fence about having kids, but you ended up having kids, I want to know, stitch this or comment down below. Do you feel happier and more fulfilled? Do you feel different in a good way now that you have kids? Or like, what is the feeling? Like, do you regret it? Are you glad that you had them? I know that people say whenever they do have kids, even if they were on the fence, that like you love your kids no matter what, obviously. But I do know that some people do have regret, and it's a really hard thing to talk about. Like, obviously you love your kids and you're going to do everything you possibly can for them, but like, I just have never been the person that's like, oh my God, I can't wait to have a family. And I'm so on the fence about it. And there's some days where I could see myself having kids, and then there's other days where I absolutely cannot. And I hear all the time people who don't have kids, how happy they are that they didn't have kids. But then like, it's just such a big decision, and I don't know. I feel like my identity is a huge thing. Like having my identity change from just being me, an individual person, and then all of a sudden being the caretaker and the mother of somebody is like a huge, I just feel like that mindset shift would be crazy for me and would honestly kind of screw me up a little bit. And just the responsibility and the energy and the time and the money and everything that goes into having kids, it's just so much. And it's just such a big decision. And I just want to know. I want to know. How do you feel now that you have them? Would you do anything differently? I want to know. Stitch this or comment down below. Do you feel happier?
Listen to me now. I'm going to try to say this in a way that doesn't hurt my kid in 20 years, but also gets my point across. Do I regret having my children? Absolutely not. I love them, and I wouldn't do a thing differently. If I could go back in time and choose to not have kids, not knowing my children, absolutely, I would not have kids. The problem is both paths are extremely fulfilling. I was very fulfilled on my own. Having children opened my eyes to a love I've never known before. But you can't have both. You gain so much by having children, yes, but you lose so much. And I was not prepared for my identity to be completely gone. Everyone's situation is different, but no, I do not feel more fulfilled. I feel fulfilled in a very different way.
Do you feel happier and more fulfilled?
So I have a unique perspective with my child not having been planned. I was actually talking to my husband about this today. He was just saying he could never imagine the amount of joy that this child has brought our lives. Like he can't even fathom it. The day-to-day of our lives is so happy and so joyful, and we feel so fulfilled. And I feel like before that was simply not the case for me personally. I was always waiting for the weekend, waiting for the next trip, waiting for something. Rarely was I enjoying the day-to-day, and that has changed 1000%. Above all else, above the joy, above the fulfillment, I feel like this child has pushed me in ways that have just made me better. I have reached financial goals, professional goals with him as the motivator, things I wouldn't have taken chances on myself prior with professionally. And then I bought a house at 23. I only wanted to do this for him. And now to say that I've achieved that, I owe it all to him. My husband has gone back to school full time to become a computer engineer. We are leveling up all thanks to him. And it's beautiful and it's amazing because we weren't sure if we wanted children, and the decision was made for us. I think any parent can say I can't imagine my life without my child, but I don't know who we would be without him, and it wouldn't be as good of a version of who we are.
For people who are on the fence about having kids, but you ended up having kids, I want to know, stitch this.
So I did comment under this video, but I can yip about this all day, so I decided to stitch it too. But I see people talking about their experience with motherhood and how much they regret it. And then also people being like, thank you so much for being honest about this. Now I know I don't want to have kids, because it sounds horrible because you're all unhappy and regretful, even though you said that you love your kids very much. And I just want to share a different perspective on this, because I see more people talking about their experience as a mother versus the partners that they have. And you should absolutely not consider entering parenthood at all, no matter what you want. And I know we obviously it's what we want. Do you want to be a mom? Obviously. But if you want to be a mom, you should think less about what you want as far as your experience out of life, and look at the partner that you have, because you will not be a happy, fulfilled mother, and you won't have that beautiful experience that you hope to have if your partner is trash, if your community is trash. And I'm sure people who are single parents or people who are parenting with someone that doesn't have their best interest, they can tell you that severely impacts your experience, because as a parent, you're pouring into a child, or if you're a caretaker, you're pouring into a person, you're giving your all, because that is your duty to them. You brought them to this world. You're supposed to take care of them, give them love, everything that they need to be a well-rounded, happy child person, So you need someone who cares about you, that cares about you as a person and not you as their wife, their girlfriend, their, they care about you. So they look out for you. My husband knows that to love our daughter and to care for our daughter, he needs to care for me, because how they say, happy wife, happy life. If I'm happy and I'm well taken care of and I'm content and comfortable and I feel safe, obviously I can be a better parent to our child because I have that to give. And there's like a whole list of things. Anytime somebody asks me, I'm never going to convince anybody. That is not my ministry. I'm not going to tell you to have kids. I'm not going to tell you not to have kids. Don't have them until you want them. And you ain't getting no answer out of me. But if you ask me, the first thing I'm going to ask you about is your partner and your family. Because obviously, if you don't have a good partner who doesn't even care about you now, or he does stuff that I don't deem to be someone safe to have children with right now, I would tell you not to have kids, baby, no matter if you want them or not. Because this is your life. Like, depression is real. Anxiety is real. Suicide is real. It is so real, y'all. Like, we have to. Hey, baby, honey. Hey, honey bunny. Babies. Yeah, those are babies. Wow. We have to look out for ourselves in order to look out for our kids, our future kids. Like, it is so important. And yeah, so just think about that first if you're considering it or not. Yeah, that was my TED talk, okay?
For people who are on the fence about having kids, but you ended up having kids, I want to know.
This was made for me. I've gone my entire life never wanting kids. I was convinced, like, if you've heard the girl with the list, I was the girl with the encyclopedia. I am an only child. I didn't grow up around babies. My mother wasn't super maternal. She worked really hard. And I feel like that's why I was committed to just giving myself the life that I'd always wanted. I had relationships. I'd never met someone that made me rethink and reconsider wanting kids, wanting a family, nothing. I also felt like when I thought about kids, I thought of all the terrible things, the worst case scenario. What if they're not healthy? What if they're not happy? What if they hate me? All of the things. And as you can hear in the background, things obviously took a turn for me. I met my now husband. We got married. Surprise, I got pregnant. Now, a lot of people might think, oh, you just changed your mind. No. If you have known me, I used to not laugh and make fun of, but literally say out loud that a summer pregnancy seems like a punishment. Like you're actually being punished in life to have to be pregnant during the summer. Guess what my due date was? Labor Day. Not just the irony of my entire third trimester being in the summer. I was literally due on Labor Day. Tell me God doesn't have a sense of humor. Fast forward to giving birth. I was induced 3 weeks early. I had preeclampsia. I had significantly high blood pressures, all of the things. I was terrified. I had never been in a hospital other than being a visitor my entire life. So to have to now go give birth, I was like, excuse me, you want me to do what? That being said, the whole point of this video, if you are someone who is on the fence about having kids, or you find yourself pregnant and it was unplanned and you're scared, or maybe you did plan to have kids and maybe you're feeling like mixed emotions about it, let me leave you with this. Kids fill parts of your life that you don't know are empty. There is no way to predict, analyze, and think yourself into a right decision, because there is no way for someone that's never experienced it to wrap their head around it. It is joy. It is pain. It is gut-wrenching. It is soul-opening and soul-crushing at the same time. Every new thing they do makes you feel more proud than you've ever been in your entire life about your own accomplishments. Every single emotion is just amplified by 100. Before you have kids, you only understand a certain level of joy, a certain level of happiness, a certain level of exhaustion, a certain level of sadness. When you have kids, it's amplified by 100. I still catastrophize every little thing. I still worry off the charts about if he'll be happy, if he'll be healthy, if he'll love me one day, if he'll hate me one day. But it truly is the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. I absolutely love having him. I could not imagine my life without him.
People who were initially unsure about having kids but became parents often experience a mix of emotions. While parenting can also bring personal growth, unconditional love, and new experiences, it also presents challenges like adjustment, difficulty in balancing responsibilities, and self-doubt. However, many parents report the increase of life satisfaction, pride, and fulfillment as their children grow older. Ultimately, happiness after having kids depends on individual circumstances, values, and relationship. Remember, it's important to remember that having kids can bring immense joy. It's not the sole determination factor of happiness. Having children brings satisfaction in one's life. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being part of this. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. See you in the next video, and stay safe.